You all are aware that there are many versions and editions of the Mahabharata. It is said that the original version had 1 lakh verses which were handed over from generation to generation by the word of mouth. The written Mahabharata came much later. Have you wondered which version of the Mahabharata is the closest to the original version written by Vyasa? This very question was asked by a group of scholars in Pune way back in 1990. They then decided to do the impossible. They decided to find the original Mahabharata written by Vyasa from the numerous versions available. It was like solving a jigsaw puzzle scattered all over India. To add to this, every region in India added their own flavor to the original story. In North India, they added snowy mountains. In South India, they added palm trees. Over thousands of years, it led to numerous additions and omissions, leading to the original story written by Vyasa being buried among the various versions. In 1929, this was headed by a brilliant researcher, Dr. Suktankar. Now, Suktankar wasn't your typical Pandit. He was trained in Cambridge and Berlin. He was a mathematician and a linguist, and he was a PhD holder. He was trained in the Lachman method, a European technique used for reconstructing original Greek and Roman classics. He adopted his own methodology for the research on Mahabharata. He set about gaining access to all the different versions of Mahabharata from north to south and from west to east in the subcontinent. He had at the Bhandarkar Institute, Pune, 1,259 different manuscripts, some on palm leaves and some on birch bark, and some were literally crumbling in his hand. His brilliance came forth in the methodology he used in the research. He developed a critical method to identify stanzas or shlokas which could have been in the original Vyasa's version. He literally went through all the Mahabharata versions, shloka by shloka, meticulously. If a shloka appeared in all the versions, it was retained. If a verse appeared in the Kashmir version or north of India, and also appeared in Kerala or south of India, it was retained. If it appeared only in the version, say in Bengal, it was not included. If the language of a shloka appeared more difficult to understand, it was considered an older version and retained. And if it appeared polished or perfected and easy to follow, it was probably a newer scholarly correction. If a verse suddenly changed the tone of the character or introduced a concept that did not exist in that era, it was flagged as a later edition. One of the biggest controversies he faced was the story that Lord Ganesh wrote the Mahabharata and Vyasa dictated it. Suktankar found that the oldest Kashmiri manuscript, the Sarda script, did not have this story. The southern manuscripts also did not have this story. It appeared in later Devanagari manuscripts from central India. He hence diplomatically moved the story to the footnotes and commented that it was a beautiful addition made by later poets. People were, however, furious. But he replied, "I am not here to tell you what is holy. I am here to tell you what is original." Suktankar had to face a lot of problems in conducting his research. It was a lengthy process and took years. He lived through the Great Depression and World War II. Money was always short and he ran out of funds. He pleaded with the British government and kings for money to keep the research going. Physically and mentally, it was exhausting. He became unwell and his health frequently failed him. He used the very script he was researching to give him strength to go on working. He used the teaching of the Bhagavad Gita to keep him going. One aspect of the research worried him. He was concerned that the Bhagavad Gita would not be present in all the versions. But surprisingly, the Bhagavad Gita text was the most stable text in all the versions. It was present almost in an identical manner in all the versions from North to South India. It turned out to be the most stable of all the Mahabharata. In 1943, after spending 18 years as the editor, Suktankar died. He died when he was in the middle of Aranya Parva. It took another 23 years after his death for the project to finally finish in 1966. This was mainly due to the obsession and tenacity of Suktankar, who gave his sweat and blood to this project. It was because of him we have a version called the BORI edition, or the Bhandarkar Oriental Research Institute edition of the Mahabharata, a version considered to be the closest to the original version composed by Vyasa. It is this version which is used by the researchers of Mahabharata in the present day. So the next time you read the Mahabharata, see if it is the BORI edition and say a silent prayer and thanks to the man who made this possible. Mr. Suktankar, our pranams to you.